So I've got a slide. Can we just move to mine? Is that next? Here we go.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that's the different definition of transparency. That's what I'm going to talk about today. There's two drivers for organizations to drive transparency. The first one is we live in the age of the customer, right? So the customer is behaving differently than they used to. They're moving online to research your competitors, to research your own organization. They also go to sites like G2 to go and see what users of your technology are saying about you. They are spending far more time in the care of the marketing organization. So the balance between sales and marketing and the relationship with these two organizations has to change. We can't use the old model. We need to work together. So transparency is very important because within that discovery journey that someone is doing, we want to make sure that this discovery journey is seamless and is value add. And sales and marketing are going to step in and out of that process, and they need to know what's been happening in that journey to date. They need to have the knowledge of what that prospect has done with your organization and how they've engaged with you. That's very valuable information if you want to make it right. The second element is if you're a SaaS growing organization, you want to make sure that you're performing optimally. So you want to make sure that your sales and marketing organization are working hand in hand and that you're getting the best return on investment of that investment on sales and marketing resources. As a SaaS growing businesses, we're going to try different route to market. We're going to try different acquisition channel. You need to understand what's working and what's not working in your organization. You need to understand where marketing should be focusing their time and where the sales team needs to be focusing their time. And if you don't have tools that are able to track and measure things across the entire funnel, from the first time someone engaged with you, all the way to they go through the sales cycle and they become a customer of yours, how are you going to know? How are you going to know where marketing and sales fits within that channel? So as businesses, we've got loads of IT tools, as Michael mentioned earlier. We've got tons of tools. In marketing, we've got tools to measure engagement because that's really where it all starts, engagement. We try and get the hand raisers. So we've got tools like on the website. We've got loads of tools to track people, where they're coming from using personal URLs, UTMs, etc. We track where people are coming from and then what they're doing on our website with IP tracking, cookies, etc. We can trace people engagement on our website. Then you've got marketing automation tools, which are helping you to reach out, the outbound. So it's email, what we send, whether that person has responded or not, click through, whether they downloaded or did what you asked them to do in that outbound communication. You've got events management. In marketing automation tools, you also have elements where you can really start better understanding your prospects with lead scoring, where you are scoring people on what they're doing. So if they do something of high value, you would score them maybe 20 points. If they go on your homepage, you don't give them any points because that doesn't really show any engagement, right? You're going to build that score and you're going to say with the sales organization, okay, a prospect that reached 50 points, that's the time where we hand over that prospect from marketing into sales. But until that prospect's reached 50 points, marketing is going to nurture it. So that's what marketing automation tool can do for you. It's helping prioritize, etc. And then usually you have your sales organization who sits usually in a different tool. They usually sit in CRM or sales automation tool. That's where they manage their leads that are coming from marketing. That's where they manage their pipeline, their sales activities, etc. So we've got those tools. And as Michael said earlier, the key thing, and I've experienced it in so many organizations, is in a lot of instances, those tools work in silos, right? Marketing works in their MarTech lands, and then sales team works in sales automation and CRM. And really, information silos or data silos is absolutely dramatic for your organization. It makes transparency extremely difficult. Why? Because these informations are not communicating, they're looked at in isolation. If you want to really have the end-to-end view of things, you're going to have to consolidate that information. And guess what? That means extracting that information from the different tools, probably doing it in Excel, consolidating that information, and we're back in Excel land or in business intelligence. And why is that bad? Because first of all, you're wasting time. and resources. I mean, I've worked in an organization where I had a dedicated marketing person in marketing operation, and an entire role, day in, day out, was to manage that information. Grabbing information from marketing automation tools and marketing land, grabbing information from CRM and trying to make sense of that information, right? That is not where you want to be. You want to be in a place where you've got real-time information, meaning the marketing tools and the CRM tools are so tightly integrated that you have information in the context of where that prospect is in their discovery journey. Why it's important? Because from a sales perspective, when you have this really tight integration between the two stacks of tools, sales starts to have unfettered access to lead intelligence. So in my organization, my sales team know, they go into their CRM tools, and they basically have information on that specific prospect they're managing right now. Which email that person has responded, which events they've attended, which email they completely ignore, so clearly the content is of no interest to them. Have they been on our website yesterday? Yes, actually that guy has been looking at our pricing page yesterday. The salesperson has this information at their fingertip at the point when they're trying to decide what is the next action they need to do within the sales cycle. So you can see that's really where the magic happens, is when marketing is feeding real live information at the point where the salesperson is picking up that leads, and that helps the salesperson make better decisions on what to do in that sales cycle going forward. Having the information in the context of where that prospect is today is so, so powerful. And that's what creates transparency between the two teams. From a marketing perspective, the element of transparency is I can now start seeing, because I've got tight integration between my tech and the sales team's tech, I now have visibility of what my team's work is building in terms of pipeline and revenue, right? I've got visibility. This closed loop reporting enables me to really understand how my team is performing and how we are helping the business grow revenue and drive more sales. That's so powerful. And that actually completely changes the relationship between sales and marketing. When we're having marketing and sales meetings now, we have one dashboard that we look at. And that dashboard is fed from information from marketing automation and information from the CRM tools. And we are looking at the same funnel from all the way to the beginning, all the way to the end. And we can drill in any part of that funnel. I can tell my sales team who are the prospects that are being nurtured by marketing, meaning people who are not reached the threshold yet. Salespeople, you don't need to care about this because marketing are looking after those. I can tell how many MQLs, how many SQLs, where they are in the sales cycle, what's the contribution of marketing to revenue, which campaign has generated the most pipeline, and where they are in that pipeline. You can see the value of having that information within the context. Final point that I'm gonna put is technology integration is absolutely critical. But there is one caveat to that, is you have to have in your organization a culture of transparency. Meaning that you have to have the leadership of both teams, both in sales and marketing, really buying into you need to have transparency between the two teams. And that means understanding what it takes for a lead to become an opportunity and to become a close one. What is the contribution of each team within that process and the respect of what the other team is contributing to that overall prospect. You also need to have share and common goals. So, within marketing, I'm a big believer that marketing should be measured on revenue and not number of leads. And that all of this, enabled by technology, will ensure that your sales and marketing teams are working together for the best outcome and the growth of revenue in your business. Thank you. Thank you very much.